Last year when I went to Digital Dealer, which I just got done with, I think there was 2 or 3 BDC solutions, outsourced BDC solutions. And I was kind of wondering if it seems like to me at first it seemed like, okay, well, this is a reaction to dealers having to do follow-up again, and we've all, kind of got lazy after COVID, and inventory was scarce, and people were looking for a car, and they call us, yeah, we have the car, we're not negotiating the price, and come down and buy it, and it was done. So we all, I've said this a couple of times before, we've all became Honda salespeople, basically, where it was super easy to sell a car, and we made a little bit of money off it, and we're good. But now we have to get back to selling. Now that inventory levels are actually rising again, we actually have to get back to selling. So where I'm going with this is, this year at Digital Dealer, I counted 9 different outsourced BDC solutions. And some of them were talking about they were using AI. And I know that's a little bit scary to spend that kind of money, because it's not cheap to outsource your BDC. But if you're in an area where, there's no nice way to say this, the talent pool is very shallow, and it's hard to get good, solid people that regularly, consistently want to come into work, I get the outsourced BDC. Even if you have a BDC, outsourcing a BDC and keeping the overhead for your physical in-store BDC team lower, either way, it has to make sense for you and your business. So an outsourced BDC can complement your current BDC and can complement your sales team, and really just in a support role, fill in those gaps that we all know we have. Nobody's perfect on their follow-up, but outsourcing your BDC can help fill those gaps and alleviate a high overhead cost that may not be in your budget to spend. And like I said, conversely, if you have a BDC that really does fantastic, but things are getting missed maybe in your equity mining or anything like that, then that's another aspect to kind of employ an outsourced BDC for. You really have to figure out what's best for your business in your specific area. Like, I know a dealer group right now that really needs an outsourced BDC because they just don't have enough people coming in that want to work and want to do that job for what that job pays. So, and not to mention, there's another aspect of this that I hadn't thought about until now: the training that's required. Who's going to train them? If you don't exactly know how to set up and run a BDC, that can be scary. You're taking a big gamble on, people that you're not really sure if that's their skill set. You're not really sure if that's their the way they handle, how they handle themselves, how they handle business. So making that decision to outsource your BDC, you have to look at a lot of different variables. So definitely look at what your current status is in your store right now. Do you have a BDC? How successful are they doing? How good are they at what they do? How successful are they? Do you need an outsourced BDC to complement what they're doing, to kind of fill in the gaps because you just don't have enough good people? You have maybe 1 or 2 and they're just a little overwhelmed. Then absolutely you can scout out your outsourced BDC and give them the scenario. Most outsourced BDCs that I've seen actually are very happy to customize the solution for you. So I would strongly encourage that. Now, if you have a full BDC, and I know a couple stores that do have a full in-house BDC, and think they may not have a need for an outsourced BDC, your BDC should be, if you have one running within your stores or dealer groups, it should really be the life, like the heart of the store. Like, all the inbound calls should be coming in there no matter what. And they should be able to field questions about sales, service, and parts, rental car, collision, all that stuff. They should be able to field all those calls for your store. Now, if you know you don't have enough people for that, or you don't have enough trained people for that, or you don't have the ability to train people for that, that's where the offsite BDC comes in handy. Because not only do they have people trained for all those different aspects of your business, But they're also bilingual BDC agents as well. And I know some areas struggle with that. So, and like I said, you can customize just about any solution you want with any outsourced BDC. So there's a couple that I like. One that I absolutely really like. It's the best one out there. Call Team 6 and message me here in LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and I'll give you his contact information. But if your outsourced call solution, the questions you should be asking are, what's your training? What's your training of your BDC agents? Like, what's your ramp up time from the time they come on board? How do I get the same BDC agents no matter what? Are there the same BDC agents from my store? How well do they know my product? Am I going to have to go through a training curve so they understand my product and my process and how we handle things? And ask what that ramp up time is. You should be able to customize the messaging for whatever the first initial outgoing and process is. Now, I'm not telling you not to listen to the experts. They'll have a process that they'll go through with you. Like, this is the cadence by which we call our customers. This is what we say here, what we say there. But I am saying put your own time on it. Put your own twist to it, your own rosemary on it. Put your own spice to it to make it unique for you. So by asking just a few questions, you can make sure that it's the right solution for what you need. Hey, we just need for the fixed ops departments, and that includes the collision center and the rental car center. We just need someone to field calls in that aspect of it. It really becomes a customized solution that can fill in some gaps without the ginormous expensive overhead that you have when you hire an on-site employee. Not saying one's better than the other. I am saying they can complement each other, and they can help out my smaller stores that don't really have the budget, don't have an extra $60,000 a month to hire a 10-person BDC with a director. So if that's the situation that you find yourself in as a dealer, I would strongly suggest that you start shopping outsourced BDCs, because let me tell you what's not going to stop and what's not going to change. Customers are always going to call your store and ask for more information, whether it be on a service, whether it be on a part, whether it be on their status of their car in the collision center, a rental car, or buying a new or used car from your dealership. Your phone will not stop ringing. So acting like we can put the least qualified person on the phone to respond to all that is not the best play. Now, as I was saying before, you can use an outsourced BDC to complement the people you already have in the store and fill in those gaps. Because if you only have one or two people in as far as your BDC team, they're not going to be able to handle all the call volume that you have coming into your store. They're not going to be able to handle equity mining. They're not going to be able to handle all the service calls you get. That's where the outsourced BDC actually comes in and complements who you already have in place. And they should work closely together to make sure the messaging is pretty seamless. But all in all, I was not a big proponent for outsourced BDC for a long time, but they've changed a lot over the years. It's definitely gotten to where it's more customizable and it's more unique, and they're more aligning with the strategies of the unique dealers as well. So if you find yourself in a situation where things are getting missed, you're not doing an efficient job at equity mining, you're not doing an efficient job with your fixed stops, whatever the case may be, if you need to have a BDC altogether or complement your own BDC, I would strongly suggest taking a look at an outsourced BDC solution and look at, in a side-by-side cost between hiring your own people, having your own team, and the training that's involved with that, as opposed to outsourcing it. And let me know if you think the same. That's all I got for this week. Happy selling.